course is related to my course actually. I mean, admin side is related to my course.
Okay, so you plan to establish yourself, since you have already been in a business association, you want to relate to sales and marketing or related technology course you want to learn. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's nice. That's interesting to know across. Definitely, depending, irrespective of the background, I think people definitely are able to create a success in Salesforce today. That's the reason more and more companies are also, adopting or using this product, this software, and people are also coming into the system. So thanks for sharing about your interest in, learning about Salesforce, and definitely will be a future technology for us to invest our time and energy. And coming back to about myself, I've been in the sales and marketing and business development or related function, CRM function for more than 14 years, and I've been with companies like Abbott Vascular and then a couple of other, MNCs, and I've been an end user of Salesforce for more than 5+ years, but then finally I had to take the plunge of learning the Salesforce development as well. So last, 3-4 years I've been with the Salesforce, and I'm working right now as a business analyst right now based out of Toronto in one of the companies here. And since I have a natural inclination to share my learning, even when I was in earlier, so I've taken up teaching, and there I share my learnings about the Salesforce on the latest developments. And as you know, Salesforce have the upgradation of their applications once every 4 months or 5 months. It's more like a spring, winter, and summer edition. So every 6 months there is some new feature that comes into the system. So you got to be completely upgraded and learn. And teaching is one way to learn. It's a process of my self-learning as well. So that's the way I take it up. And so that's about myself. Okay. So coming back to Salesforce, since I'm sure Vicky is already doing in the CRM space, he knows about the cloud-based computing and how the CRM industry has been swept by Salesforce. When it comes to CRM space, and that's a brand leader right now. And Priyanka, I'm sure you are also quite aware in terms of how Salesforce has been positioned when it comes to CRM management, right? In terms of your career aspiration, I just would like to know a little more. I believe Vicky, since already has some kind of a clear, a vast experience in CRM management, it's just a new system, new platform is going to get through. So are you keen on taking up the developer position, Vicky? Hello?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And Priyanka, how about you?
No.
Okay, you are not keen on development in terms of programming or coding, but non-coding profile is what you are looking, if I'm correct. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So definitely, both coding and non-coding possibilities are there with respect to Salesforce ecosystem. So let me start sharing my screen. Just one moment.
Okay.
Excuse me. Is the screen visible to you guys?
Not yet.
Not yet, Prasanna. Yeah, it's fine. It's visible now.
Now it should be.
Yes.
Okay. About Vicky and Priyanka?
Yeah, I can see the screen.
Okay, great. Okay. So just to give a gist of the kind of certification parts or the tracks, do you guys have any idea in terms of how many certifications Salesforce offers and how many are available right now? Okay. How about you, Vicky?
Yeah, I know that Salesforce offers many certifications.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
And
developer, admin, architect,
yeah,
and other stuff. Other certifications.
correct. And what is your aspiration to become an architect?
Yeah, eventually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. That's really awesome. I'm sure, considering your background, wealth of experience, I'm sure you could be one such. But yes, definitely to start with, presently, there are more than 25 certifications that's offered by Salesforce, and which can span
Yeah.
across.
Somehow you sound very familiar,
Is it
Prasanna.
interested?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't
Did I
know.
speak to you
I
earlier?
don't know. I've not. No, I don't think so. So maybe is Vicky your correct name, or is it something else? I don't know. Or if it's in a, I don't know if I've spoken to you. I don't recollect. Maybe. I don't know. Okay.
Okay.
So let me come back to the session. So you can see there are more than 6 common roles that you would come across right now. Okay. These are most sought after positions that you would see in any of the job sites or even in the LinkedIn when you come across, these are very commonly we can see. And what are they? These are the ones. The administrator, as just now Vicky shared with us, administrator, developer, these are the most common roles you would come across, but there are more than this. What are they? Anyone who wants to start, right, a career or to initiate a system, definitely they start with an administrator track because that gives a fundamental exposure or a basic exposure to the platform, the Salesforce platform. Yeah, whether it is the basic user management or the data management, and creating the different objects, creating relationships, or establishing the security between different objects, or even for that matter managing sales and marketing automations. All those, the basic stuff will be evaluated and it will be tested under the administrator track. And here they have 2 certifications. One is admin and an advanced administrator certification. And this does not involve any coding at all. It's a non-programming stuff, I would say. But these days there is a transition happening, even though they call as an administrator role, but still they might ask you to write a basic simple levels of code, or you are expected to have an understanding about the coding or the coding needs. Whenever in case if it is needed, you are expected to write code as well. So that's the kind of transition that's happening in the industry at this point of time. Then comes something called as the platform app builder, and platform app builder is more like a transition certification between an administrator, which is a complete non-coding, to a developer, which involves, as you know, developer clearly states it involves the Apex language, the proprietary Salesforce language. Though similar to Java, it's quite easy to learn, but that's where the coding happens. And platform app builder certification focuses exclusively on the point and click tools. When I say point and click tools, this is a Salesforce terminology. They say it as without writing a single line of code, you can still build an application with all possible tools that are provided by Salesforce, where you don't have to write any code at all. So the platform app builder certification focuses more on that. Not just an admin there, so it is more than the admin certification. Definitely you can manage and build an app, maintain all possible things without writing any code. And developer, as the name suggests, definitely you are involved in the different development stages of developing an application. And yes, it does involve coding, Visual Force pages, or any other, possible integration related coding. All are involved in this process. And consultant certification, I'm sure any enterprise organization, when they are, developing applications for their Salesforce or, internal divisions, you will have multiple administrators, multiple developers working on the project, and you also need some kind of a consultant as well, for client facing, and then kind of being in a point of contact between the admins and developers. Consultants play a big role. Even you come across Salesforce consultant roles as well in the job profiles. And if you look at the certification track, you have Sales Cloud Consultant, Service Cloud Consultant, Marketing Cloud Consultant, all of them are available. Here also you do not have any of the certification, doesn't require any coding knowledge at all, or nor you are involved in any coding. But yes, to become a Sales Cloud Consultant or a Service Cloud Consultant, definitely you need an administrator certification. That's the base level prerequisite. Okay. But in addition to this, you also have something called as a specialist certification provided by the Salesforce, which does not require any prerequisite like administrator or a app builder. You can directly take the certification, but yes, this focuses exclusively on some of the product suites. As you would have already known, Salesforce is a cloud-based software, right? And it's a cloud-based CRM. And even though the platform is same, the way it has evolved over the years, now they are very smartly, they have positioned their products into different segments. They're calling a sales cloud, marketing cloud, service cloud. Even though the base platform is the same, the kind of features offered are slightly variable, but it's just the industry, how we use the application differs. So based on that, they have developed a couple of new products called Pardot. Pardot more on focused on the marketing suite, like using YouTube, Facebook, and other stuff to how that can be used as for marketing. And the cloud email specialist and social cloud specialist again involves similar marketing based platform, and these two are exclusively based on marketing cloud platform. The marketing cloud platform is quite different. It's exclusive, it's not similar to what you have in sales or service cloud. And to manage that, you require this certification. Typically in marketing oriented organization, you do come across these positions. Okay. And once you are done with admin, app builder, or a developer, I'm sure, a person like Vicky, definitely they are aspiring for an architect level. Since you have built up experience, it's just a transition time they should have. Within a year, they might get 2-3, certifications of this side, and they might aspire for architect because they have more than 5 years of CRM space experience. Typically, these architects are 4 to 5 years experience, and they have deployed or been part of the deployment of complete projects, deployment application development, and from start to end they would have seen, and that leads them to higher level certifications. And as I can see, one moment. So Priyanka, I think for you, in case if you think I would prefer a non-coding certification and a career pathway, then definitely administrator is definitely a starting point. But beyond this, since you have a business specialization as your master's degree, you can go on to become a sales cloud consultant or a service cloud or even a marketing cloud consultant. Okay. That is something which you can definitely aim for, since you do not have, or even if you want to transit, let us say down the line 1 year from now, once you get used to the, in your job, understand the platform, suddenly you might get an interest, to learn coding as well. Okay. So it's not that challenging. So people, lot of non-coders, they have learned coding and they have been very extremely successful, earning, $90 to $100 per hour right now, specifically in US. Okay. So there is no inhibition you should have in your mind. Oh, I don't know coding. No. If you ask Vicky, I think he will tell you, people go through a transition or the learning curve whenever they start learning something new. Yeah.
Okay.
So this about the broad certifications or the career tracks that this official Salesforce I'm taking into. Before going further about what the certification in terms of training that we offer at UltilearnSolutions. So in terms of your interest, first I think definitely we have to start with admin. And once you're done with the admin track and admin certification, then you can move on further towards either platform builder or a consultant or a developer focused, certification tracks.
Okay.
And at Ultilearn, we offer all admin, platform app builder, or even developers. We offer training here. Okay. So coming back to another aspect about the certification, as we already discussed, the Salesforce Certified Administrator is the first certification level people have to get through, because that's the base fundamental it describes, and it's also much relatively easier if you ask me, because it's they don't go much deeper in terms of your understanding. At least the basic is what is expected from you, and this is the official certification guide provided by the Salesforce, and this is as latest as the summer 2018. Right now we are in summer. This is the latest summer 18 certification guide I'm referring to. Here you can see that they mentioned about the exam. As you know, they have multiple choice questions, just like one of our competitive exams is just MC questions you would come across. And the passing score is only 65. I'm sure usually, easily you should get more than 1995. And there is a registration fee for the exam, which is 200 USD, which you'll be paying directly to the Salesforce. Okay. And there is a retake exam fees in case if someone does not get you in the very first attempt. But trust me, I have not come across any of my students to go to the retake fees or retake at all, at least in the last 2 years. Okay. So these are some of the official instructor training offered by Salesforce themselves. They themselves offer this Admin Essential, which is the admin certification training. But not everyone can afford, because the cost of this certification course is 4,500 USD. Okay, and they complete it in flat 5 days, 8 hours a day or 5 hours, something like that. From our end, we follow the exact the training path or the training structure what is offered by Salesforce, and you'll have a lot of hands-on exercises, practices after every session, and we'll also have some knowledge check questions soon after completing every module. So by the end of the training, 4 weeks training, right? It takes about 4 to 5 weeks, I would say 25 hours on an average. And by the end of the training, you'll be admin certified, as well as you'll be acquired the required necessary skills. Okay, so a little more to give about this. Document talks more about the different topics that you would have to learn or be familiar before actually you can take the exam. The org setup or user management, security and access. I'm sure Vicky is quite familiar with all this terminologies. But this gives you understanding of the weightage, right? How many questions, let us say 60 questions, how many questions does come from this or this topic? Maybe 2%, maybe one question can come across from this org setup. But security and access, 14%, definitely 5 to 6 questions come across from this. So how do you establish security that one department does not access other departments, information or their whatever their applications? How do we establish that? How do we control the access to certain reports, dashboards that only specific people, users can have access to their reports? And all those will be discussed in length and security and access. And standard custom objects, definitely you would want to create your own applications. For that, you have to create objects, right? So some of them are provided by the Salesforce themselves, which we call it a standard. And if you create on your own, those are the custom objects. We'll go and try to understand what are the different types of objects or field types that we can create, and how can we establish relationship between, and what is the basic architecture that involves in this process. We'll go through in depth. And here comes sales and marketing or a service and support applications. So as the title itself says, we'll see how an app created with the Salesforce is at the end of the day useful for managing CRM, right? Customer relationship management, or in terms of sales, in terms of marketing, in terms of service, how it is impacting, what as an administrator you can manage or support the sales, how as an administrator you can support the service. At the back end, how can you customize things? Those are the things you will be looking across. Like let's say email management or email automation or certain process automation if you want to do, right? So, and data management, all import export process. Let us say you want to import the data, export the data, right? What are the requirements? What are the tools available? What are the consideration we should look into before actually doing the process? We'll discuss all those. And analytics, reports and dashboards. Any company, definitely they want to know how they're performing, right? Month after, quarter after, whether they're growing in sales or degrowing. And I'm sure every manager or every user, they want to analyze their own data in their own perspective. So how reports and dashboards can be customized, how they can be created, that we'll discuss under this specific module. And since we are all in automation mode, there are different processes we can automate in Salesforce. And as an administrator, what are the things you can do? That we'll touch upon, like workflows, approval processes, right? And there are also some other topics like mobile and app exchange, which we'll go through. This is something on a syllabus or a topics or module wise. But the same thing, if it has to be practiced inside an org, that is a Salesforce instance. So how do we do that? So I'm trying to log into one of my instances. And before I go much deeper into this, I have to tell you this. The reason why Salesforce is in such a great demand, I've already told you that they upgrade their applications. Just like you get some Facebook and WhatsApp update, your app is up to date. Salesforce upgrades their applications and adds new features every season, like spring, winter, and summer edition. This is the latest summer edition, and this org is an updated org as per the latest one. And every user it gets updated automatically. You don't have to download or upload since it's a cloud-based software. And in terms of editions, right, there are different types of editions they have. Just to give a quick comparison or a simple comparison, if you ask me, if you look at satellite channels, they all companies, it's a cable television or a satellite television, we call it. The platform is the same, but the kind of package they provide, the number of channels, it will be different, isn't it? They provide a base package where you can access 150 channels. But if you want a little more special, let us say kids channels or a movie channel or sports or news, then they ask you a little more extra premium for those additional channels. In a similar way, they have customized, Salesforce has very smartly, marketed their product as sales product, service cloud, marketing cloud. But even though the platform which they started working with is the same, yeah. But there are different layers. I'll not go much deeper onto that process, but this is how it has been customized. And similarly, in terms of editions, they have some essential editions, professional, enterprise, and then unlimited edition. And they have something also called as a developer edition. And this developer edition is what we will be using it for throughout the training purpose to learn, because it has all the features, but it has a limitation in terms of certain storage and in terms of how much you can work around. Okay, so this developer edition is something which you will be using throughout your session, and every day, soon after I complete, let us say, let me take a quick example. Okay, so there is something called as user setup. Maybe in 2 lines they have mentioned this is how the user setup works around. An org setup, again in 2 lines they have mentioned this is how it is. But actually, if you get inside the org, and this is a user's perspective, the home page you are looking right now in the sales application, you can change to a different application like service, marketing, or any other, right? And traditionally, Salesforce, when they started, they had a different UI, user interface, which they call as classic. But these days, in the last 1 to 2 years, they have been really pushing for the lightning user interface. So if they go and purchase a Salesforce instance for the organization, it's a lightning interface which they will have access to. Right now, what you're seeing is a lightning. So if you ask me what is the difference between a classic and lightning, I can quickly show or switch to a Salesforce classic view using a switcher. This is how the typical classic view looks like. Okay, the same home page, this is a service application, as you can see, the same object like accounts, contacts, and solutions. And you have the dashboards on the home page, maybe some tasks and calendar items, if any, and some quick access records, some recent items what you have access to. And if you want to switch to lightning, there is a switcher which you can switch or click, and then it will immediately redirect you to the lightning UI. And throughout our training, you will have a mix of both classic and lightning UI, because even now in the market, if you go and see, still there is a transition phase that's happening. Still almost 50% of the company, they are using the classic UI only. They have not transitioned to the lightning. But a lot of new companies which are hiring right now, they already have taken up the lightning interface only. So when you get into a job, maybe some projects you might be involved in the transition phase where they are moving from classic to lightning. So possible, we don't know. And if they are already in a lightning, then it's great. So some of the modules will have a classic based learning. Some of them will have lightning as well, exclusively. But at the end of the day, you want to know more about the administrator certification, because that's what the starting certification is. So let us say user setup is something here. Inside the org, where will you go? You go to the setup. Setup is the backend, and here comes the user management. You can see administration, platform tools, and different settings that you can customize. And if you go into user management, there are something called as how you can add a single user or a multiple user, how you can reset the passwords, the basic administrative task, isn't it? Someone new has joined in the company. You want to create a new user profile, right? And I'm sure you want to create, some could be in the sales department, someone could be in the HR, someone in the finance. Depending upon the user requirement, they might have to have a different profile. We'll see what a profile is, or how the profile varies from one department or one user to the other user. All those customization also we will look into. Okay. And from my end, I personally have something like this. Let us say any topic, if I take, I make it into a much more smaller subtopic, and also I divide it in terms of what is the number of hours that I have to allocate. For example, let's say lighting experience customization. So what is a lighting app? How to create a lighting app? What are the different types of listies you can create in lighting? What are the different types of page layouts? How to customize that? Creating buttons, links, and actions. So I make it into a much more smaller subtopic. Okay, under user management, if you have to ask me, we'll take it here. What is that? Class 1, maybe. Salesforce janitors. Okay. So there are different ways how you can. So this is the way managing users in Salesforce. As you can see, even though there is a 2-line information in the document, I divide it into much more smaller topics so that we don't miss out any. And this is the user interface settings, and we'll see how inside the org this is customized. And after the end of every session, let us say one topic we complete, I have something called as knowledge check questions, where we will have some questions to check your understanding, whether you are able to practice and then understand things like standard profile, user record, password policies, how in terms of user management. And this will be something similar to the certification question that you come across, the multiple choice. And we'll also discuss why your answer is correct or why an answer is wrong. Okay, this way I have customized for different topics, and at the end of the topics we will go through this knowledge check questions as well. So that by the end of the 4 to 5 week training period, you will be not only having understanding the knowledge about the platform, but you will also be certification ready. Okay, and definitely you will be practicing all the class sessions in your own developer editions in your own org, and there will be a lot of exercises after the end of every session, and you will have to complete this before you move further to the next session. Okay, so duration, if you ask me, minimum, typically at least for one admin certification, since it's the first one, essentially you are getting used to the platform, at least 60 to 80 hours of preparation will be required. This will include even the class duration. Let us say class is the training duration is about 25 hours or 25 sessions. In addition to this 25, from your end you might have to put additional maybe 25 to 45 hours of efforts. I would say this will include going through a couple of official documentations, or reviewing some videos, or practicing at your own end, some exercises which we give in the class. So put together, at least 60 to 80 hours of preparation will be required for you for the first certification, but then after that it would be much easier for you. Since that you know how to go about for the exam and how to prepare for, and you will have a very much greater understanding about the platform as well. So any questions, guys, from you? You can unmute. Vicky, Priyanka, chat. Yeah, please go ahead. Ask the question. Okay, maybe. Okay. Oh, please ask Priyanka. How many days admin developer training gets finished? Yeah. Admin session would go at least for about 25 hours, and once you're done with admin, then definitely in parallelly we can start the. Once you're done with admin, then we can start the developer training as well. And the timeline again for developer also, it will be close to about 25 hours, 25 to 28 hours. Sorry, I missed your chat messages little early. More questions? More than the timing? I'm sure you have a fair enough idea in terms of how the training would be structured, and usually you would prefer the weekdays or weekends? This question is open to both. Vicky, are you there? You can unmute yourself. Okay, weekdays you're fine. Okay, fine, not a problem. So definitely we can, weekdays again, morning or evening timings, Priyanka? If it is morning, what is your preferred time? Okay, in terms of timings, 8 o'clock in the AM, 8 a.m. EST or 7 a.m., 9 a.m. EST? And 9:30. Okay. We'll see how we can come closer to your preferred time. 9:30 could be a little difficult, but I'll see what best we can arrive at. Okay. So 9:30 you're referring as EST time zone, Priyanka? Okay. Because I have a morning batch which which will be happening in the morning time. I'll see. I'll discuss with you how best we can match or come closer to your requirement. 9:30 will be too late because again I have my office work and that will be challenging. Let's see. I'll just see how I can. Evening at what time would be okay with you? If it is evening, you can let me know the timing of 6 to 10. Okay, anytime you're free with that time range. Okay, awesome. So that gives a greater flexibility for me. Okay, great. And Vicky, I see you being a little silent.
Hello?
Are you there? Vicky, yes, please.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah, great. Questions from you?
No, I don't have any questions right now.
Okay. And in terms of your interest or your feedback on how the course structure or the methodology, are you okay with that?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
But do you have any any slots in the morning time? Because in the evening time I'll be very busy.
Your evening will be busy. Morning, what time you prefer?
7 a.m. PST.
7 PST would be something like 6. Can you make it? 6 PST? 6 a.m.
6 would be a little difficult, but I'll try. But if you can make it 6:30 or 7, that'll be great.
Okay, let me just see how best we can match, because 6 to 7, if you can make it up to 6, I think definitely, because even Priyanka is also saying a 9 or 9:30 around, right? Somewhere we can come closer in that range, and I have a couple of two more participants who have asked for the same timing. Okay, exactly for the 9 a.m. EST time zone. So I'm just seeing how best we can, come to a common time agreement. Okay.
I'm good with 7 a.m. actually. The PST zone.
Actually, you are since the PST time zone 7 a.m. Okay. Let me see. Let me just come back. Give me one day time. I'll come back to you and then confirm how best we can, meet your expectations in terms of timings. Okay. And okay. Yeah. Okay. In terms of costing, I would suggest you have a word with our the counterpart whom you spoke to. You spoke to what? Monica, Jenny. Yeah. So they will guide you in terms of the joining formalities. Okay. And you can talk to them. And they will clarify how. Maybe I think it will be too late for them because it's kind of 11:40 in the midnight EST time zone. And even they are working in different time zones. So I would ask you, give me one day time, they'll connect with you again tomorrow and then discuss with you about the joining formalities. Okay. And one more question. Okay. Anything more from you, Vicky? The timing is fine. Thanks for clarifying that you preferred 7, ideally 7. Maybe at the max you can stretch up to 6:30. I'll take it that way at this point of time. We'll see how best we can.
7 is 7 is perfect.
How would evening time for you, Vicky? If it is
evening won't work for me because I come late from office sometimes. It may not work for me.
Okay.
So I can only do morning times. the
Only
PST
morning.
zone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because let me see how I can match up and then mix and match things. Okay, great. And I think you can speak to my whom you had a discussion initially. Then they'll guide you in terms. So you want to join both the admin and developer track or only the admin at this point of time? So this is a question for you, Vicky, since you are interested on developer.
Yeah, I'll do both.
You are interested in both admin and developer. Okay. And how about you, Priyanka, in terms of you'll also be keen on admin and developer track? Okay. Okay, fine. Thanks. Okay. Thanks for your time and joining me on this interactive session to know more about your training needs or understand your requirement in terms of Salesforce certification and career path. So what we'll do, I'll quickly, guys, I'll ask them to talk to you regarding the, the joining formalities in terms of payments and processes. And also the timing also, I'll confirm it to you in a day or two. Okay. And then we'll see how soon we can start the batch. If at all you have any other questions, please feel free. You can email to, UltilearnSolutions and then we'll try to see how best we can. Or you can even call us on the phone. And we'll be happy to discuss things. Okay, if there are no more questions, I'll end the session here. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you soon in the first class. Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Take care. Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.